Hey everybody, welcome to another Facebook post here on Mondays with Mark. Hey, today's actually the 4th of July, and it's actually Freedom Day, man. Today's the day when the Declaration of Independence was signed. 56 men put their life, their liberty, their property, and their sacred honor on the line so we could have freedom in this country. And I'll tell you why that's important to me. You know, I'm able to sit here and enjoy the freedom, and I don't know if you can see behind me or not, but there's a beautiful lake back here. I'm sitting in my backyard and sitting on one of the park benches I built when my kids were little. And we have rope bridges over here in the woods and the trees, and we have a rock wall and just all this great stuff, man. A zip line, and it's just so wonderful to be alive. And it's because we're free, man. Freedom. But here's what I wanted to share with you today. Those 56 men, their wives, their children, they lost everything. They were persecuted. So many of them died broke because of the cause and the purpose. They gave their lives, their liberty, their money, their homes, their homesteads, their futures, their legacies, everything for freedom. Freedom isn't free, ladies and gentlemen. And I really want to talk to some of the people that maybe haven't had to face war. In my generation, we had the Vietnam War. We've had the Iraq War. We've had Desert Storm and all these kind of things. But there's this next generation that's coming up, and they didn't have to go to war. They haven't had to sign up. They haven't done the battles, maybe paid the price. But for those of you that did serve, I thank you with a heartfelt abundance of gratitude. But freedom isn't free. You got to have a purpose and a cause in your life, and you got to be willing to pay whatever price you got to pay. And I'll tell you something about paying a price. I have dedicated my life, my resources, my time, energy, talent, and my treasure to developing E5 Leader and to developing the ideas and the principles and the philosophies behind it. Why? Because it helps us to be free. I've given everything that I've had my whole life into this cause and this purpose. And right now I've dedicated everything that I have in time, energy, and resource into building this online community and to building this online academy, training academy at e5leader.com that will be launching soon. And to be able to put all of yourself into a project with the hope that others will grow and a hope that someone will be reached and it'll change their lives and it'll bring them closer to freedom and prosperity, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. There's a price to pay. And if it wasn't for our forefathers that signed that declaration and put their lives, their liberty, their pursuits, their treasure, their time, their property, everything, their sacred honor they put down. Many of them gave up their lives for us. And I'm just thankful for that. This morning I had a cool opportunity to go to an outdoor church service. I'm Catholic, so I went to a mass outdoor. A friend of mine called me, and he had been playing guitar for them and said, hey, why don't you come on out and see us? It's 9:30 in the morning, so that was perfect for me. I don't like to do anything really before 10. And I was able to go out there and enjoy that mass today and outside and the music, and it's beautiful weather. It was just a fantastic way for me personally to start my day. And I just want to share that with you. We had a couple things happen to us this week that maybe weren't the best things that happened. My little girl, she's 36. She's a doctor in Oregon. She was involved in a pretty bad bus crash accident. Her and a group of doctors and nurses and other people from the hospital she works at were out on a whitewater rafting trip. And on our way back from California into Oregon, their little tour bus ran off the side of a road on a cliff and tumbled down a ravine and landed on its roof. And, really tragic. It could have been so much worse. No one died, thank God. But it really is a tragedy because all these doctors and nurses are from the same hospital in this little town up in Oregon, Klamath Falls. And, it just could have been so much worse. But my wife and I, we were on a trip in Chautauqua. That's when I talked to you last Monday. We got the news Monday night. We bolted home. She got on an airplane. She went out there to be with my daughter and take care of her and nurse her through her injuries. And, she's pretty banged up. There's a lot going on with her. And there's a lot going on with that whole group of people. But what was really cool? Because of the freedom that we have, man, I made a phone call or a text to about 30 different people that I knew, maybe more. And just said, hey, do me a favor, will you just pray for my daughter? This is a very difficult time for our family. Just pray for her and pray for all the people on the bus and pray for all those that were involved in the accident and pray for the driver, who took their eyes off the road for just a minute. And just pray. That's all we can really do. and the outpouring of support that's happened in that community, and the outpouring of support that's happened in our own personal community, you know, through the prayers and well wishes and the follow-ups, is just tremendous. You know, it just tells me once again, we live in the greatest country in the history of the world, and we better be willing to pay that price, whatever it takes for our moral convictions, whatever it takes for our value convictions, you know, that we hold true to our principles and our beliefs in this country to keep it free. So, happy 4th of July to you. And I just shared that story with you about my daughter because if it wasn't for freedom in this country, you know, we wouldn't be able to do the things we get to do. And they were off on this great trip, enjoying it and having a good time. And life doesn't always deal you the best of circumstances, and you just got to make do with whatever you have. So anyhow, I just want to wish you well, and God bless you all. Have a beautiful week, and I will talk to you again next week on Mondays with Mark on Facebook Live. We'll see you later. God bless.